When you think about Filipino celebrations and festivals, most people cannot count out alcohol drinking or inuman session in Filipino term, as it has become one of the gestures of Filipino camaraderie and way of celebratory spirit. Meanwhile, some Filipinos turn to alcohol as a coping mechanism for stress, which is why, during the pandemic in 2021, the Department of Health or DOH reported that 40% or 4 out of 10 Filipinos were alcohol drinkers. Indeed, Filipinos' relationship with alcohol is intertwined. However, the DOH warns the public that all amounts of alcohol, whether small or large consumption, is considered not safe for health. So, to address this issue, I will talk to Paul Filomeno, a medical doctor and a representative for Philippine Addiction Specialist Society. In this B-side episode, he will talk about the risk of alcohol consumption and the factors that drive individuals to consume it. Also, he will discuss the Syntax Coalition's initiatives to make alcohol products less accessible and marketable among Filipinos. Hello, Dr. Filomeno. Pleasure to meet you. What are the health risks of alcohol drinking?
Recent studies have shown that even with low doses, so meaning parang konting-konting inom, may mga nakikita ng association with certain types of cancers. And as you go along, drinking more and more, naman, no? So mas maraming organs yung nadadamay, no? Most especially the GI tract. No, sa GI tract, ang pinaka-susceptible dyan yung liver, no? Yung liver, no, parang eventually causing hepatitis, acute hepatitis progressing to liver cirrhosis. But other parts of the GI tract, such as yung esophagus, yung mismong stomach, could actually be subjected to stress by chronic alcohol use. So parang minsan, parang severe stress ulcers could happen, and certain types of cancer also develops, most especially in the GI tract. Pero sinasabi nga nila, marami ding effects sa heart and also sa brain. No? Sa heart kasi, dahil nga ang alcohol, marami rin siyang components such as not necessarily just alcohol, di ba? So may mga sugar components din siya na pwedeng naka-affect doon sa metabolism and ultimately the heart. And as a psychoactive substance, the brain has direct effects or neurotoxic effects sa utak. No, maraming studies na nagpapakita na yung direct effects ng alcohol could actually be translated to shrinking of the brain, no? Tapos may iba, nag-i-induce ito ng mga different psychiatric disorders such as depression or anxiety, no? So, malalaman yan by history na dahil sa chronic alcohol drinking, yung patient or yung tao mas susceptible to developing certain mental health disorders.
Is there any safe levels in alcohol drinking?
Ito medyo medyo recent narrative din siya na gustong i-propagate ng DOH tsaka ng WHO. Kasi 'di ba, we've grown dati na parang one bottle or one glass of alcohol is okay, no? So doon din ako lumaki, 'di ba? Parang unlike tobacco na parang alam mo nung bata pa lang na masama yung tobacco. But now recent studies have shown nga na parang kahit very konting sips of alcohol occasionally is directly linked, is being linked now to certain forms of cancer. So meaning yung dating sinasabi nila na may minsan nga parang good for the health pa daw at least to one glass of wine, nade-debunk siya unti-unti, and these are eventually translated ngayon na parang ang nakikita natin sa mga recent evidence is that ang alcohol itself bilang isang psychoactive, neurotoxic, and even oxidative agent na nakakapag-cause ng organ damage is linked to diseases, and that no safe levels, no, meaning so kahit konting sip mo will put you more and more risk to developing other conditions. So no safe talaga.
How about the claims about benefits of drinking red wine? Is there any medical basis about it?
Yeah. So I think that is coming from the parang mga 2010 evidence na sinasabi nila na may component daw kasi ang red wine na resveratrol. Pero based on the mga 2020s na studies, na-debunk nila yung resveratrol as something beneficial really. And yun nga, take note, red wine lang yon, no? So, how about the other spirits? How about the other forms of alcohol, no? Na wala talagang direct benefit sa atin. And so, we've grown with that na parang may dati na may good dose or parang may good amount of alcohol for you. Pero ngayon, when you read different medical journals now, it's really harm that is now associated with alcohol.
What are the factors that drive an individual to consume alcohol products?
Personal consumption of alcohol products, nagbabary yan talaga. Pero yun nga, as a culture, malaking bagay yun. Sinasabi kanina na culturally, we have accepted it as a form of socialization. And so maraming tao na parang dun magsa-start. But then what perpetuates it or parang ano yung nag-fuel dun sa alcohol drinking, dun na siya talagang natitailor sa iba-iba. So yung iba, pwedeng pag nalaman nila na masarap pala, so I can use this for coping. Or yung isang tao naman, pwede pala tong tumulong makalimot ng problema ko. So, pwedeng coping or pwedeng reaction to a stressor or a depressive episode in life. Or just parang another form is just parang, minsan nga, it's just plainly boredom, no? Parang walang magawa, walang trabaho. So, parang doon nagre-resort, no, as form of being entertained at the end of the day, no, parang kasama yung mga friends, doon nagiging, yun yung parang mga factors that perpetuates. But yun nga, parang it differs on a person, but definitely, yun nga, each person has a story to tell, and yun nga, a treatment or a possible in dealing a person with alcohol use disorder, kailangan mo talaga pakinggan saan nanggagaling yung why or yung reason bakit siya tumutuloy sa pag-inom.
Who is the most vulnerable age group in alcohol consumption?
So definitely the youth, no? May certain parts sa brain ng bata or ng adolescent or ng young adult na tinatawag nating prefrontal cortex, no? Ito yung part sa utak na tumutulong sa isang tao magdesisyon ng tama, no? So, dumaan tayo sa pagkabata, alam natin na yung mga desisyon natin nung bata tayo, maraming dahil lang sa nagagawa natin out of our strong emotions. So, kitang-kita dun yung immaturity ng part na yon. Ngayon, as you mature until the age of 25, nakukompleto yung maturity nun. Ngayon, if we start them on a substance of abuse, let's say, as early as teens, nasisira yung nagkakaroon ng effect yon sa maturity or sa process of maturity. So, nagkakaroon ng direct neurobiologic effect, no? Parang nagkakaroon ng may ibang mga bata nagkakaroon ng delay sa maturity or nagkakaroon ng disruption yung maturity nun. So, if that happens, mas susceptible yung mga bata or your younger adults to develop addiction. At pag yun nangyari on that age, yung addiction is more complex and more difficult to treat. Meaning, mas nakasemento yung addiction sa utak nila. Parang ganon. No? Anong implication nun? So, when you're trying now to treat a person na nagsimula pa ng pagkabata sa isang bisyo, definitely, when he's 40, when he's 50, yung bisyo na yun mas mahirap tanggalin sa katawan.
Study says that alcohol-related deaths are the top cause of death among ages between 20 to 24 years old. What is the reason behind this?
Ito kasi yung age group na very risky, no? So they're able to drive, no? Kung nagsimula sila ng younger age, like in their teens, so basically naka-create na sila ng drinking habits, drinking cultures. So there's the one sila yung parang kumbaga possibly may addiction na, naka-develop na addiction, or So, i-add mo yon with their risk-taking behaviors. Marunong na sila mag-drive, able to have that independency. So, may mga late night, so may mga, possibly they're actually also subdued na to violence because, you know, they're partying culture as well. And so, maraming mga secondary harms na mas subjected sila than any other age groups. And so, because they are heavy partiers, heavy drinkers as well. And so, yun yung parang, I think, greater, yung mga factors na nag-add up that's explaining the reason why ang laki ng alcohol-related deaths on these certain age group.
What are the initiatives of the health sector to decrease alcohol product consumers?
Siyempre, sa public health side, parang I think we've heard naman sa DOH na may mga programs na sila directly on alcohol cessation. And I guess parang DOH naman sumasabay na rin sa international narrative na walang safe level. So at least konting steps towards culture change. And siguro eventually in the future parang disseminating this to other parang agencies such as DSWD, DepEd na mas malaki yung reach sa younger population, most especially to inform them, no, na parang tulad nung sa school nung bata tayo na like tobacco, no, there's really harm with alcohol na hindi siya parang something rite of passage, something na hindi needed, no, when you grow up, something that is not, that will really, alam mo yun, parang just to give that child a chance to be informed that, you know, whatever you do with alcohol in the future will definitely put you at a certain level of risk.
How can alcohol dependents stop drinking alcohol products?
It starts with knowing the reason why you're drinking, no? Parang in understanding that minsan, most especially for severe cases, you'll need a mental health professional. And culturally kasi yun nga, parang a lot of stigma is really nakabalot sa addiction, no? So for alcoholism as a form of addiction, ang kapal ng stigma barrier niyan. And so for a person with alcoholism, minsan it equates to weakness. And sometimes yun yung reason for them nalilimit yung ability nila to seek consult. And so for a person who's listening right now, no, parang feeling na baka kailangan niya ng help, no, our culture now is more embracing, no, for mental health problems and realizing the importance of prioritizing, most especially also your mental health.
How do the increase of excise tax or the price of various alcohol products will help reduce individuals drinking alcohol?
So definitely yung paglagay natin ng taxes dun sa commodities such as an alcohol, and yun nga, we recognize naman that alcohol is not a necessity, no? So again, imposing higher tax on this will actually discourage, most especially on my end, ang concern ko talaga yung younger population. So when you put a bigger amount of, you know, bababa ang purchasing capacity ng mga younger people natin, malilimit yung initiation nila. And actually for addiction kasi it's really important yung initiation, no? When you initiate something at a very young age, again, as I mentioned kanina, mas nasisemento yun. So again, excise tax will definitely mitigate or parang control the initiation of the younger population, and at least ang makapurchase na lang are those who really can, and those who are really working para alam mo yun, those who can actually put an extra money on just buying this unnecessary commodity.
The Syntax Coalition has been pushing for banning the advertisement and marketing of alcohol products. May I know your thoughts on this?
Yung advertisements ngayon, bukod nga sa mainstream, no, in the social media and very unregulated, no. So talagang when you hear stories from the young adults, from adolescents, doon talaga sila nakakuha ng information now. You know, so if we create better policies on regulating these narratives, mas konti yung matatanggap nilang misinformation, And then mas easier yung pag-create ng culture of acceptance of these new findings and new para din alam mo yun, parang we can create a generation na mas informed at hindi lang nakikinig sa mga unverified sources in the internet. And so very important na yun nga, parang in terms of advertisement, in terms of being available in different contents, maganda na we can I'm hoping that in the future we can have these monitoring policies that be followed by different companies and even social media influencers para to adhere on what narrative and also what to avoid in terms of parang releasing information about these substances of abuse.
Alcohol drinking has already been a part of the Filipino culture. Thus, how do the health sector encourage Filipinos to reduce alcohol consumption?
So definitely it will be a challenge, no? Pero alam mo yun, we're ready for the challenge naman, most especially as Filipinos. Ang important sa atin is really be open to the new science kasi minsan parang romantic na lang yung or parang very sentimental ka na lang na bakit naman yung magulang ko ganito, walang ganon. So again, we have a lot of newer data and science is telling us that there's really negative effects, most especially on your future, you know? So if yun nga, parang kung bibigyan mo lang yung chance sarili mo na pakinggan, or Filipinos should listen and then eventually and realize that, you know, avoiding alcohol is really an investment for their future health. I think malaking bagay yun, no, na parang may ma-realize nila that when you avoid something now, na may malaking impact pala on your future, meaning cancer risk reduction, diba? Heart problem risk reduction. Maybe, alam mo yun, parang malaking mako-convince din sila eventually that, you know, parang avoiding these substances is an investment for your health.
Our conversation with Dr. Philomena states that the Filipino safe level notion about alcohol drinking was a myth. A study from World Health Organization shows that alcohol drinking, even in small amounts, could pose risk on health. To reduce alcohol-related deaths and diseases in the Philippines, DOH, together with Syntax Coalition, has been pushing for a bill seeking to increase the price and excise tax of alcoholic beverages. Dr. Philomena said that despite Filipinos' close ties with alcohol, he believes they will have an open mind about understanding new studies on the risk of alcohol consumption, as it is also an investment in their health. This has been another episode of B-Side. Again, this is Edge Eva. Subscribe now and enjoy industry insights on Philippine business and beyond.